Jacola, Executive Director of Cat Depot in Sarasota, Florida. And this is Kindness Matters. Kindness Matters is a show that explores our relationship with all living things, and in just a few minutes we're going to learn about the work here at InStride Therapy. And I bet if you look behind me, you get a big hint because there's a person with a horse. So we'll learn more about that in a little bit. But we like to celebrate on Kindness Matters our relationship with all living things, from the pets that live with us in our homes, to those that live offshore, to those that are flying above us and live in the trees. I was lucky enough to be out at the beach this past weekend, and as many of you have seen, it's turtle season. So there are turtle nests that have protective markers and stakes and tape around them. So I'm not sure exactly when the turtles hatch. That might be another topic for Kindness Matters, so I can learn a little bit more about them. But please be respectful of those. And enjoy our relationship with all living things. These relationships has always brought me great joy, and we will explore more of that here today. I can't believe we're already at the end of May. This past weekend was Memorial Day weekend, where we remember and honor those that have given the ultimate sacrifice in serving our country. But it's also a time that we take to perhaps remember the loved ones that have passed before us, and whether those are family members or friends or even pets that we've had in our lives. Cat Depot has a memorial remembrance walkway. We have a new annex to that, which is out in front of our retail store now. I think we have some footage of that. But there are a variety of ways that you can just reflect and remember about people and pets and things that are special to you in your life and that have brought you joy. And those memories, I hope, bring you joy as well. At my house, every time I walk out to the barn, I hear and have a reminder of our little dog, Wedgie. We have wind chimes that have Wedgie's name on them in the tree. So when the wind is blowing and we hear that, and that's something, she was a pistol. I will never forget her, but just those memories bring me great joy. In our lives, certainly we will know many pets. Animals tend not to live as long as we do typically. And so because of that, we are able to share our lives and share our love with so many different animals and learn about so many different animals that we share our lives with. And at Cat Depot now, it is kitten season. So let's cut to this quick clip. That was hard to say. So, as I mentioned, we would be meeting some cats and kittens today on our show, and it is kitten season. Cat Depot is open by appointment only for all of our services. For adoptions, please call 941-366-2404, and cats and kittens like these are going to be available in the coming weeks. You can speak with an adoption counselor. You can also shop our retail store by speaking with Donna or Kelly on the phone, and they will help you with your purchases, and you'll be able to order ahead of time, pay ahead of time, and then when you arrive at Cat Depot, you'll call and let them know you're here for your order, and they will gladly set it out for you. So we are here for you, and the Rose Durham Cat Care Clinic, our veterinary clinic, is also open by appointment only. So we look forward to seeing you virtually for now or by appointment. Check our website, catdepot.org, for details. As we have been open by appointment, we're stretching a little more into reopening, and we will have even more robust offerings online than we have previously, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. So again, keep thinking of us here at Cat Depot. Thank you for your help and support. Okay, my mask is creeping up on me and you're getting a little antsy, but thank you for helping us make kindness matter. Today we are so fortunate to not only be enjoying a beautiful day, but we are here at InStride Therapy with Daila Lybarger. And Daila, what is your role here at InStride?
My role here at InStride is I am the Director of Programs and Services, and I'm also the Site Manager.
And tell me a little bit about InStride, and then I'm going to ask you more about you.
Okay. InStride is a 25-year-old nonprofit organization, and what we do here in a nutshell is we help people get through or overcome unique challenges through our equine-assisted therapies and activities. So we offer physical and occupational and speech therapy on horseback, which is called hippotherapy. We have a program that is more recreational in nature called Therapeutic Riding, where we work with riders mostly with cognitive disabilities, and they use equine activities and horseback riding to help them with learning life skills and have the opportunity to interact with each other socially. And then we also have an equine assisted learning program, and that program is a program that helps people achieve emotional and mental wellness. So we do all of these things through interacting with horses.
Well, I know, and for people that know me, being with my horses is really my zen. I'm outside. I'm usually doing something physical with them, whether it's as simple as brushing them or bathing them or riding. And I take lessons to just kind of work on me as well as build that relationship with the horse. And it just really puts me in a place where I can't worry about anything else. I can't think about anything else. But I don't think about why that works. But there's actually a science behind all of these activities that you're offering here.
Yes, absolutely. All the things that we are doing, what we're trying to accomplish is backed by science. There's a lot of research being done out there that says that interacting with horses for different reasons is good for us. So in our hippotherapy program, for example, it's the movement of the horse, sitting on top of the horse, that is providing all the benefit to the client. What we have learned through the years is that being on a walking horse, it challenges our balance, our coordination, our flexibility, our strength, especially core strength. Yes. And so for some people who have some challenges in these areas, it's a great way to give them an opportunity to get stronger and then to improve those things. But when you combine sitting on the walking horse with actual physical, occupational, or speech therapy that is facilitated by a licensed therapist, you are enhancing those benefits tenfold. So you are purposefully using therapeutic activities and putting that together with a moving horse, and it's just amping up and amplifying those benefits. In terms of mental and emotional wellness, we know that science has proven that interacting with horses, animals in general, but especially horses, it helps us to stay more relaxed or become more relaxed. And they're showing and proving this through studies that measure cortisol levels before the activity and after the activity. And they're seeing an improvement in that, which is beneficial to people that have or are dealing with anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress. So we have programs here that offer people the opportunity to work with our horses in numerous ways to achieve improvements in those areas, whether it be physical, cognitive, sensory processing, or they're working through anxiety, depression, or post-traumatic stress.
I honestly didn't know about the cortisol level measurement, and that's fascinating because I should recognize that now, because it just really makes the day better when I'm just interacting and hanging with the horses. So that's fascinating, and I'm eager to continue to learn more. How many participants do you have in your programs?
Right now in hippotherapy, that's our largest program. And that's the program that InStride was founded upon, was being able to offer hippotherapy to individuals with disabilities. That program, we see between 70 and 80 clients per week during the school year. And then in the summer, it drops off just a little bit. We'll be between 60 and 70. And then in our therapeutic riding program, the numbers will average anywhere from 25 to 35 riders per week that we'll see, especially during our Special Olympics season. Those numbers get larger because we do offer that program in conjunction with the Special Olympics of Sarasota County. Okay. So we had 16 riders participate this year. We had a fabulous season. And then in our equine assisted learning program, that'll fluctuate, because what we do in that program is we partner with other nonprofits in the area. So we work with survivors of abuse and trauma. We work with veterans. we work with disadvantaged youth. And we offer those programs sort of on an as-needed basis. So sometimes we're really busy and we can see 20 to 30 clients at a time with that, or we may not have anybody participating during a given week. It just depends.
And are your programs full? I mean, how do people apply to be a part of them, and who funds that?
Yeah, so our organization, being a nonprofit organization, we do have some program revenue, but we also coming in on a regular basis, but then we also rely on donations and grants as well. So we're partially funded that way. Our hippotherapy program, we have a wait list. So that is a very popular program. And once a client is enrolled in that program, they're coming on a weekly basis. So spots only open up when a client achieves their goals and hippotherapy is not something that they need anymore. So there is a waiting list for that. Our therapeutic riding program has regular openings. Our seasons, we do it in according to season. So our next season coming up for therapeutic riding will start in the fall. And with equine assisted learning, it's a scheduling by appointment. So it's easy enough to do.
And this place is expansive. How many acres are here?
We have 62 acres.
And horses, staff, volunteers?
17 horses.
Okay.
And we have right now, I think we have 12 staff. Most of them are full-time. We have, I think, 4 part-time staff. And then as far as our volunteer program, we can see anywhere from 60 up to 100 volunteers a week, just depending on what's going on property.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a big program.
And age range for participants, big enough to just have help getting onto the horse to seniors, or?
Yes, pretty much. So in our hippotherapy program, we can see clients as young as 18 months. So in that program, again, is physical, occupational, or speech therapy. So all of it depends on what the doctor says is appropriate and what the therapist says is appropriate. So we see clients as young as 18 months and as old as they can be.
How big are you when you're 18 months old?
Pretty tiny, probably about 25 pounds, maybe 20 to 25 pounds.
And somebody's like holding the 18-month-old while they're on a horse?
Yes.
Or
yes.
Okay.
So we have sidewalkers in that program. So a lot of our volunteers volunteer as sidewalkers, and they're specially trained volunteers that walk alongside the client. They keep hands on at all times, and they are responsible for that client's safety. So they're trained not only in how to help the client stay in the middle of the horse and stay balanced, but they're also trained in emergency things such as an emergency dismount to get the rider off of the horse if there was an issue.
Yes. And there's safety equipment involved with all of this, helmets?
Absolutely. Yes, all riders have to wear helmets. The helmets are always being fitted and checked to make sure as the clients grow that they're still in an appropriate fitting helmet. The equipment that we use for the horses is very safe for the horse. It's very safe for the rider. It's very comfortable for the rider. And in the hippotherapy program, they are riding bareback. So they're on a bareback pad. There's no saddle involved, but what that's doing is it's allowing the client to really feel the movement of the horse more than if they had a saddle. So they're benefiting a little bit more by not having the interference with the tack. And then of course our arena is, it's very safe. It's always closed. We have a mounting ramp for getting the riders on in a safe and very easy manner for them, comfortable for them. And everything that we do here is according to the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship International Standards. So we are a certified PATH International Center, and we have to adhere to their safety standards and all the guidelines for their programs to make sure that we keep everyone safe and that the programs are effective.
Now, you're a seasoned horsewoman from way back. What is your background? I know we both enjoy horses, but you have worked with them professionally forever?
I have. My earliest memories are riding when I was 4 or 5 years old. I took lessons. I was a horse crazy kid that just begged my parents for lessons because they weren't horse people. So I didn't have the luxury of growing up with parents that knew anything about horses. So I had to go get lessons, and then begged and begged and begged for my first horse. So I think my first horse was when I was 13. And I've done a lot of different things. I have a varied background, and I had my first actual horse job when I was 18 years old, and it's been horses ever since. So I'm now a member of the AQHA Professional Horsemen's Association. I'm also a PATH International Equine Specialist in Mental Health and Learning. So I like being able to take my background from what I did before in the more mainstream industry and blend that now with what I know about the therapeutic industry. It's amazing because, as you and I both have experienced, horses just make you feel better. And so when you take them and you work with a horse in a purposeful way, and you combine that with a goal of someone's to achieve something, a little, an improvement somewhere, whether it's educational or emotional or physical, that's where it is for me. So, growing up with horses and learning everything that I did, I now feel like I know exactly why and what I was meant to do.
Awesome. And this is a whole family endeavor, right?
It is. Yes. My husband's also a farrier. So he has a good base of involvement in the equine community here, as well as in the Midwest. And which has expanded, for me, I've met a lot of great people because of him, because he comes from the Midwest. So, just the more horse people, the better.
Great.
It's enriching.
We just animal people. I mean, being from Cat Depot, I meet all kinds of people who they don't just like cats. Most animal people really embrace and respect all living things around them, and that's just a special connection that I think we all have. And we've talked about the people side of the human-animal connection here, but on the horse side, what's the age range of the horses and where do they come from?
So the majority of our horses are a little bit older. It works out better for us, for our clients, as far as safety, and just the horses are just in a better place, mentally and ready to take on the responsibility of working with people who are vulnerable. So right now, I think the youngest horse that we have in the barn is 7, and the oldest horse that we have in the barn is in his late 20s.
Okay.
So it just depends. Some of the horses have been here for quite a long time, and others are fairly new.
And all kinds of horses, or?
All kinds. Okay. So one of the great things about having different sizes and different breeds in the barn is that it gives us some variability in the movement, and also some variability in temperaments. And, across the board, you tend to have stereotypes of what breeds have certain personality characteristics or certain traits, as far as being a little quieter, a little bit more alert, and so that works real well for us to have a variety, because not all humans are the same, and so not all humans need to work with the same horse. That's
true. I recognize that at home. I tend to move a little fast, and I'm there to get things done. So my thoroughbred's like, what's she doing? And then my husband's like really laid back, and Roy just follows him around. Yet my youngest horse is a Frisian mare, and they're just kind of big teddy bears anyway. So she just watches me and waits till I'm done, and she's like, okay, now are we ready now? Right. And so it's very, very different communication that I have with each of them. So that's great that you you have that diversity, and you can serve your clients individually that way.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we look for in a horse, first of all, is safety. They have to be safe, and they have to be tolerant. But at the same time, we want to make sure that they have something to offer. So if I'm working with someone who is a little more on the timid side, I'm going to have to think carefully about matching them up with a horse that's going to not overwhelm them, but will challenge them a little bit to maybe be a little more assertive. So having a wide variety of horses to choose from is beneficial in that way. One thing I will say, though, is a lot of times, even though I may have a horse in mind for someone, it doesn't always work out that that's the one that works the best. We have to let them experience it. So it is an experiential process of letting the client, or letting the human and the horse choose each other, which that's my favorite part, I think, when we're working with the programs, especially in equine assisted learning, to watch the horses and the people hook up.
And that's how we feel at Cat Depot with matchmaking, when we meet the people and have a conversation and get to know you, learn about your expectations, your lifestyle, and we get to know the cats. Just making that connection is what brings us great joy. So kind of similar, a similar situation. And when I was here a couple of months ago, I know we were trying to figure out how long ago that was, and COVID-19 kind of put everything on hold, but you had just received a couple new horses, and I remember one was kind of a gypsy looking thing.
Yes, we did. We brought in a Gypsy Vanner cross, and he has been a great addition to our program. Very, very grateful, by the way, to the Venice Golf and Country Club Foundation, because they helped us with the purchase of this horse. We needed a horse with some size. We needed a horse that was a little younger, and he is our youngest horse in the program. And we needed something with his type of personality. He's very interested in people. He's a little on the lazy side, so he will make someone step up and be a little more assertive. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said someone who might be timid, they wouldn't be overwhelmed by this horse, maybe by his size a little bit.
Right.
But personality-wise, he's very gentle. However, he can be a bit lazy. So that would require this individual to step up a little bit, maybe assert themselves a little bit more, get a little more confidence in working with the horse. So yeah, we bring our horses in on a 90-day trial. Okay. So they all have a 90-day trial period before they can begin being worked with in programs.
And someone is here caring for the horses 24/7, or what? How many times a day do they eat? What do they eat? Do they graze in the fields here? How does all that work? Because I know, they're living beings. You can't just shut off the lights and go home at night.
This is a 24/7 operation. So we do have a caretaker that lives on site full time, and she's responsible for after hours care. And then during the day, when staff and volunteers are on property, we are doing everything that they need throughout the day. So our horses receive very individualized care. Whatever is best for them is what they get. Some of our horses go out all night long and then come in the barn during the day. Other ones can't tolerate being out at night for various reasons, and so they would go out during the daytime and then spend the evenings inside and nighttime inside. They're fed twice a day on a minimum. Sometimes for some one reason or another, we may feed lunch, especially during winter when the grass is a little low. We do have 62 acres, so in the summer we've got lots of grass, and so sometimes that extra feeding isn't quite necessary. The stalls are kept very, very clean 2 times a day at a minimum. They're cleaned. Pastures are drug on a regular basis. We're in the process right now of trying to get pasture shelters built in all of our bigger pastures so that the ones that go out at night have shelter in case it rains or they need the shade.
In case it will rain.
Yes, you're right. And so very, very proud to say that the care that they receive here is excellent. They're all evaluated every 6 months as far as their physical health. They receive regular routine veterinary care. We do body scores and weights every 6 months. And then we also do performance evaluations. So every 6 months we're doing performance evaluations.
Get a report card?
Yes. And then that way we can identify things that might be trending in a direction that we could help the horse out with, or it'll help us get ahead of any issues that we might see, behavior or health.
Sure. And biggest challenge of your job here?
I think the biggest challenge is that my role is there's such a variety to it. So I'm helping with helping identify grant opportunities. I am creating programs. I am overseeing all the care of the horses. I'm overseeing everything that happens with the volunteers, manage the staff. It's busy. But I will say that from a program standpoint, I think the biggest challenge is just staying on top of all of the things that are coming out that we're learning about horses and how they help people, and making sure that we stay educated and that we are bringing effective programs to our clients, and also helping them to be able to take advantage of all that, finding ways to keep the funding going so that our clients can that they can benefit. So I think it's challenging for sure. There's more than one.
And biggest joy?
Oh, biggest joy is definitely watching the clients succeed. That is by far the only reason I would want to continue working this hard is to see the benefits, to watch people's lives change.
Oh, that must be so rewarding and bring you tears of joy, yes. I would imagine.
So there's a variety of different ways, and you never know when it's going to happen. You may have a child in hippotherapy that doesn't speak, that speaks their first words during program, and you see the impact that it has on the family when that happens. You may be working with a survivor of abuse or trauma that's had difficulty setting boundaries, and so therefore things have happened to them that they might be able to handle differently if they can learn how to set those boundaries. And all of a sudden they have these aha moments, and you can tell it's going to change the direction, or it's going to change what happens in the future, you know, how they handle things. It's watching people. We've worked with a group of survivors of human sex trafficking, and to watch them turn corners in those programs and actually reconnect with what they physically feel and their emotions. And that's something, you know, to watch them all of a sudden be able to reconnect that. They've had it shut off for so long. It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah, just hearing you describe it, you can tell you're dealing with, you know, really heavy issues in a place where you're celebrating nature and your relationship with each other and other living things, and it's just the whole process of healing, I guess.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, I pulled up my cheat sheet because I like to do a little rapid fire thing, so you should not put thought into these answers. They're just for fun. I hope. Your favorite pet of all time?
Dogs.
Best horse's name you've ever heard?
Ooh. I don't know. I'm going to go with my favorite horse, Dudley.
Okay. Favorite horse adventure?
Ooh. I would want to ride in Ireland.
Oh, yes. I have a friend who went like B&B to B&B on draft horses in Ireland, and she swears if she goes back that she'll let me know, so I'll let you know.
Okay. But the favorite one I've been on is I've ridden on 3 islands in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've ridden down to the rain and through the rainforest and down the waterfalls, and it was really amazing.
Cool. That would be pretty.
Yeah.
That would be pretty. Okay. Favorite hobby?
Horseback riding.
Okay. When you can travel again, where will you go?
Probably the Grand Canyon.
I've never been there.
I haven't either, and I think it's a shame. We live in this country that has such amazing different landscapes, and I want to see them all.
I would like to see Yellowstone too, and I haven't been there.
Same.
And I've heard that on horseback you can see the wildlife because they're like used to the horses or something. I don't know. That's what I've been told. So I'm going to go with that and believe it. I guess we should, just because we're still in the middle of this pandemic, how has COVID-19 affected you? What are you having to do to alter your operations? Are you able to operate?
So I think it was the second week of March is when we had to suspend all of our programs. We had a barbecue that was scheduled for the end of March that we had to postpone. It's one of our bigger fundraisers of the year. So we had to suspend our programs. We suspended our volunteer program as well, and we went down to just essential staff to try to keep everyone safe. So we had to really stagger our scheduling, and immediately went into trying to figure out what to do. So just like every other nonprofit, trying to make sure that we did the right thing, that we kept everyone safe, that we were still able to take care of our horses. Now we are in the first phase of our reopening plan. So we are in phase 1. We're bringing staff back to a normal schedule. We're getting our horses back up and working, and we've actually decided that we would create a program that was going to allow us to start working with clients again, but also protect our more vulnerable clients. So we're holding off on restarting hippotherapy until probably sometime in July. That's our target. We're not 100% sure yet. But we are going to start a riding academy program. So we will be giving regular riding lessons.
Oh my gosh.
Here at InStride. Wow. With a focus on safety and also life skill development, so personal growth. We want to take all the things we've been talking about and offer that on purpose through a traditional riding lesson program. What that will enable us to do, riders that would come for that program are going to require less hands-on assistance. We talked about sidewalkers earlier. We won't need sidewalkers in this program, so we're going to go ahead and use the resources that we have here to do something that's going to help us with revenue and also help bring more people on property, get more people involved and expose them to how horses can enrich their lives. And then our clinic therapy, we are hoping to start back June 15th. That'll be one-on-one, the therapist with the client. We are being very careful about mandatory hand washing and temperature checks for everyone that comes on property. Still staggering our scheduling, making sure we don't have too many people coming and going at one
Still
time.
distancing.
Yes, social distancing. And also we've really enhanced our cleaning and disinfecting. We have brought in a professional company to help us with that, so they're coming out regularly. We also have hand sanitizing stations set up throughout the facility, and just making sure that we stay on top of all of the CDC guidelines as well as industry best practice. So we're just watching what other nonprofit therapeutic riding centers are doing across the country and learning from what's working and what's not working. So we're hoping to start and resume our regular programs, like I said, in July, but there will be definitely some changes as far as, I think that all of us are probably going to put a lot more focus on sanitizing and disinfecting, as well as when can we be socially distant, and making sure we maintain those good things like hand washing and masks when needed.
I'm sure we'll all have to pivot again as we go.
Yes.
That's what we've learned, to be nimble and resilient, but
absolutely,
that's what any time requires. So it's great to hear that you've got new things starting out of this, and you're exploring what you can do, what you might do and bring to another level. So very exciting. So we're going to thank Daila, and we're going to just pause for a moment and then get to meet some horses. We live in Florida.
We do.
And it's raining.
It's officially summer.
And these horses don't care.
He's pretty happy right now.
Can you guys hear that? Oh my gosh. I think we've entered the rainy season. We can't hear each other. Nope. And he's falling asleep. Are you sleeping? Okay. I am amazed with how well, these guys are used to it, but talk about rain on the roof.
Right?
You can't miss that. And you're falling asleep.
This is Deo.
Deo?
And Deo, correct me if I'm wrong, Deo's 26 or 27?
Deo is 26.
Yeah.
And
So,
what kind of a horse are you, Deo?
yeah, Deo's an American paint horse, and he's owned by Lisa. And Lisa has graciously loaned him to InStride to be used in therapeutic riding. And he does a couple of hippotherapy sessions with one particular client who needs a horse like him. Very, very steady, very smooth.
And he is so relaxed. He is just like chill. So, yes. That was so sweet. So
Deo
happy.
enjoys people. We had all the licking, the chewing, the yawning.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
But Deo recently, and I know Lisa just talked about the empathy, that he can feel for people. We had a situation where we had someone on property that was extremely distraught over losing someone important to them. And he immediately recognized that need, went straight to her, and just followed her, would not leave her alone. Very gentle, but knew, that she needed something, and he was right there by her side. And he had the freedom to walk away. This was in a very large field, and he stayed right by her side.
Huh. That's amazing.
Yeah,
what a great story.
So Missy is also an American paint horse, and I think she's 12 now. She's 12. Missy works in our hippotherapy program, in our therapeutic riding program, and we have had her involved in some of our equine assisted learning programs. However, she's a really great horse under saddle, so we use her quite a bit in our mounted programs.
Now, will these particular horses be involved in your new program, or?
They will,
Yeah.
Yes, they will. So Missy actually is a very, very nice English horse. She has a big, lofty trot, definitely challenging as far as movement goes. We talked a little bit about the differences in the horses and how it's nice to have the variety. She has a very powerful walk, a lot of rotation in her movement. So when we use her in hippotherapy, she's great for the riders that need more stimulation, more of that sensory stimulation. Also, she's very challenging to your core strength. So as the riders, They may start out on a smoother horse and then work their way up to a horse with her type of movement. She's definitely very athletic, so she likes to jump. Missy has actually changed pastures on her own, jumping out of them, and she's even managed to jump out of stalls. So from a standstill, she's a very, very athletic little horse.
That's crazy. So she's not just opening her door?
No, she's jumping for sure.
Okay.
We've seen it.
Wow.
We've seen
my
it.
goodness. Well, you have
and
an
Missy
aptitude for
Missy
that.
belongs to InStride. She has been here for almost 2 years now.
Okay.
So, and she's also very content. Lots of licking and chewing,
Yes.
blowing out and blinking, all those wonderful signs of relaxation that we like to see. Deo is still doing the same thing. So this is a mare named Dixie, and Dixie's a thoroughbred. All the bugs are coming out now that the rain has stopped.
Of course.
Dixie is 21, I believe, and she's been with us a little over a year. She is fantastic in all of our programs. She does really well in our hippotherapy. She does very well in therapeutic riding, and she also works well in our equine assisted learning program. She comes
I'm sorry?
from...
She is agreeing, yes.
She comes from a hunter jumper background, and she was donated to us by a family from Sarasota, the Bach family. And we're very grateful to have her because she is one of the kindest souls. She has a real desire to please. She's kind of got that middle of the ground movement. So when we talked about Deo being very, very smooth and Missy being very, very challenging, she's kind of in the middle. So she would be a horse that would help somebody with a wide variety of skills, but also not be too challenging for them. And in equine assisted learning, we see her typically partner up with more timid individuals. So she's definitely a horse that people feel safe with. Yeah.
They're just beautiful. She continues to agree with everything you said.
She's a good girl. We're very fortunate to have, like I said, the variety of horses. And you see kind of the age range here. We've got a little bit younger, a little bit older, and then Deo being our oldest. And then also in the terms of movement. So that's why I picked these 3 horses, just to talk a little bit about their different things that they have to offer. But we do look for horses that are able to be used in more than one program. That's really important to us now too, because it's better for the horses. It's better for them to have a variety of things to do, and it's better for us to have a horse that's versatile so that we have more horses to go to in each one of our programs. And it's good for our clients.
Well, we are very fortunate to be with you here today, and thank you, Team InStride, and thank you to all the horses, and thank you for the skies for giving us a bit of a reprieve. Is there anything you'd like to add today?
I'm just grateful that you're here, and thank you for letting us talk to you about what we do. We appreciate the opportunity.
Well, it's absolutely appropriate for our segment as we all explore together how kindness matters.